evening, everyone, and welcome to the first adventure here on Pete and Jeremy's D&D Time. I've entitled it A Short Fuse. As always, before we get into our adventure, though, we are going to take a few moments and introduce all of our characters here. So without further ado, first up, we have Jorgmir, the Tiefling Bard, joining us tonight. Hello, Jorgmir. Jorgmir, you with us? Maybe having a mic issue. I'll circle back around to them in just a moment. In that case, we have Ordin with us tonight. Hello, Ordin.
Hello. Yeah, I'm also here.
Hi.
How's
How
it
are
going?
you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. I've been figuring out some things ever since I came here. It's a really good environment for this sort of thing.
You're saying just kind of adventuring around Bartholomew's shop. You have kind of a lot of good opportunities to discover new truths.
Just opportunities to really just discover like new concepts and new abilities and everything. It's been very exciting.
Could you tell me anything about some of the things that you've been learning, Ordin?
Last before I was going on to the last adventure, I was talking about how like part of this discovery is just discovering that like numbers don't really stop, and they do weird things because they don't stop.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
And like
about infinity.
Yeah, well, I don't like using that word. It seems dangerous, but
I understand.
But like I realized that like if you add stuff and it just keeps adding. I also realized that you divide stuff and it doesn't really divide right.
Huh? What do you mean by that, Ordin? It doesn't divide right.
Like you can divide things, but you can just keep doing it. It never gets to zero.
Kind of like adding in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and like adding, but different. But here's the thing, the idea. The idea. If it's not dividing right, you know what else shouldn't divide right? Armor.
Huh. Well, that's certainly, I don't know if I can fully wrap my head around that yet, but maybe you can show us a little bit about that in practice tonight, Ordin.
Yes, I will.
See if you can take advantage of that. But it seems like you're on to some pretty intriguing stuff. I look forward to hearing more about what you learned, and hopefully you're able to figure some new stuff out today too.
Yeah, there's been some other things. That's the one that I'm mostly excited about. But hopefully I'll get the chance to figure things out and demonstrate for you.
Well, best of luck in your pursuit for knowledge today.
Certainly.
Welcome. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you.
Of course. Next up, we have joining us tonight Akta Fireblood. Hello, Akta.
Hello.
Akta, it's been some time since we've seen you adventuring in the lands of D&D Time. So, Akta, tell me, how have you been?
I've been fine.
I'm glad to hear that. Keeping busy, I hope. What you been up to lately?
I've just been spending time with my beloved.
You're spending time with your beloved. Just nice to be kind of away and just being able to focus on the family for some time. Or are you two just are you two married or?
No, we're not married. Not yet.
But I'm glad you've had this time to focus on the relationships in your life instead of just being out adventuring all the time. Is it nice to be back though?
It's very nice to be back.
Yes, too much of a good thing, I suppose, can still wear on you over time. So while you may be risking life and limb out there, I'm glad that you'll have the chance to get a little bit of excitement again, Akta.
Yes, I am glad to.
Welcome back, Akta. I'm excited to see what you can do out there tonight, and as with everyone, I wish you the best of luck. As we have joining us next this evening, we have Jeremiah, a Michigan Bullfrog, is with us again. Hello, Jeremiah.
Hello.
Jeremiah, what you been up to as of late?
Sorry, got a lot of background noise.
No worries. I was just asking Jeremiah, what you been up to?
Not too much. I still haven't got out of the surrounding area all that much, but
I haven't been taking much time to explore as of late.
I've tried, but being small and all, you gotta avoid all the carriages and things like.
And you've been spending a lot of time at. Have you been spending a lot of time at Central City as of late? Was that where it was?
I went over there for a mission or two, but he really didn't. I didn't really stick around.
Well, maybe you'll get more of a chance to see the sights this evening. Is that where you're headed? That's where you're headed. What did you think of Central City, Jeremiah?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I didn't really spend any time in Central City. We were like teleported out in the middle of nowhere. We had to like go to Central City. It's kind of an all-day trip.
Pretty tired by the time you got there. Not a lot to.
Yeah, it was well past midnight.
I understand. Well, maybe today, Jeremiah, you'll get a chance to see a little bit more of the city. Hopefully, it's not anything. Hopefully, that opportunity presents itself for you. But welcome back, Jeremiah. It's good to see you again.
Thanks.
And then, last but not least, Jorgmir, are you with us now?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Lone Star. So Jorgmir, hello. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I believe you are pronouncing my name.
Oh, I'm sorry. Could you pronounce it correctly for me?
George.
Jorgmir. I was doing the soft J. I apologize. So Jorgmir. Jorgmir, would you mind telling me a little bit about yourself? What are your kind of some of your abilities and moves that you bring to the table here in the land of DnDTime?
Well, as you know, a bard.
Yes, of course.
Not like the classic bard that goes in and does shows and taverns and all that stuff, as I've been a pirate for most of my life.
Yes,
Because of this, I do know some fighting, so I'm not completely useless in battle, as some people. But yeah, I'm adept with the sword, and I do know a few spells.
I imagine you know quite a few sea shanties as well from your time on the seas.
Well, of course I do. Maybe eventually.
Tell me, Jorg, I've locked it in a little bit for myself. Jorgmir. I'll try and make that the last time I mess it up. Jorgmir, what kind of brought you to the land of DnDTime? Do you have any kind of big goals, or are you just hoping to see some of the sights, take a little bit of time off the seas?
Yeah, just primarily seeing sights. I got bored on the sea and wanted to do some more.
Well, while some of Bartholomew's adventurers I do know bring people to, well, the high seas, most of the time they are on land. That is the case here. Maybe a site that you wouldn't get to see that often is where we begin. As Bartholomew has instructed the four of you as we begin our adventure here, and welcome, Jorgmir. It's good to have you with us. Bartholomew's instructed the four of you that you are to report to the Central City Guard. Apparently, there's some madman that has rigged a bomb in the mayor's office, and they found it luckily before it went off. But they needed a crew of, well, experts and also individuals that, if they were to die, would be resurrected in Bartholomew's shop to attempt to defuse the bomb safely. And so, where we officially begin, Bartholomew has teleported you to a circle within the bounds of the city limits, and there you can see that there is a member of the town guard that was kind of waiting for you expectantly to arrive. And as you kind of come into this space, Bartholomew just teleports you in an instant. As soon as you arrive on the scene, you're almost immediately being kind of bombarded with words from this pretty hurried and stressed out looking individual who says, "All right, so you must be the four Bartholomew's experts. We've been waiting here for a while. Glad you're finally here. We got quite a situation on our hands. How much experience do all of you have in bomb defusal?"
Defusal?
Bomb defusal. We have something of a ticking time bomb on our hands here. Well, not something of one. We have a ticking time. Come on, walk with me. We got to walk and talk. We got to get you up there right away. Get you strapped into well, the appropriate gear as well. We can't have you just going in, well, nothing but your clothes. And he begins to kind of step forward. And he goes, "I'm sorry. And by the way, did you say none when I asked you that before?"
I did. I can't speak for anyone else.
Rest of you?
I've had
Yeah.
no time diffusing bombs, but I have had plenty setting them off.
That's not a great sign. I'm an officer of the law, and bombs are, well, generally speaking, illegal in the city's limits here, but I'm going to overlook it considering the circumstances. I guess that's good news. What about you two? As he looks to he looks to you, Jeremiah, like thinking like there's no way this frog has done a lot of bomb defusal.
And I can't say I have. I'm pretty meticulous, though. I mean, I'm against him.
All right, well, you're going to have to be meticulous today. So let's get you all strapped into gear. All right, so from what we gather, there's this complete nutcase. Calls himself Countdown. He styles him some kind of big villain or something. I don't know all the details. I just work in the city watch. But he's been putting bombs all over the place. Usually we defuse them ourselves, but when we can, we like to get Bartholomew's crew in because, boom, everyone kind of dies. Well, you guys don't die. Like, if I were to be defusing the bomb right now and it went off, I would die forever. So we're hoping for this thing to go off. And of course, it's also nice, bomb goes off, you guys mess up, you don't get paid. So that works out great too, because if things don't work out, it cuts in the budget. We're going to get you suited up into some gear. But for starters, if you have any questions for me about this whole situation, I'm just going to otherwise just to brief you. And you've been kind of walking and talking with him at this point, and he's leading you through some city streets. You've come to a point where you can see there was just a police line that you've crossed, where the town guard has, or city guard, has kind of cordoned off sections of the streets, and there's just a big open road before you leading up to what looks to be City Hall, where the mayor would reside. You can see someone, a woman who appears to be the mayor, who's like arguing with some other town guards otherwise about like taking stuff out of her office and saving it. But for now, it seems that her cries are kind of helpless while they're just trying to deal with the immediate problem. So you're walking over this lone kind of long city street as members of the town guard on either side are sort of flanking you and well, just hoping to just keep the streets clear just for the general safety of the public. And he's going, so for starters, I need all of you to take one of these, I need you to take one of these rocks. And he hands you over what looks to be a blue crystal. Which one of you would like to grab onto that?
I'll take.
I would.
I heard, was that Jorgmir I heard say first? Yes. So yeah, he as soon as you say well, I would, he just hands it over to you and goes, this is going to be it's going to be a communicating device. I got one too. And he kind of holds his version of the crystal up to his mouth and he goes, I don't know how they work, but they're like talking rocks or something. You talk into it, you hear what I say on this one, you can talk back to me. So once you get in there and around the bomb, you're going to have to answer some questions for me, describe it to me, and I'm going to try and walk you through it as best we can to keep you guys safe because we don't want you blowing up if we can avoid it. You want to try it out? And he talks into it. Testing, 1, 2, 3. You hear it come out of the blue crystal that he's handed you.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk to it. Testing.
All right. Yep, you got it. It's easy. There's really not much. You're just talking to the rock. And I want each of you to wear these vests. Bomb is not going to protect you that much. I mean, there's a chance they'll save you. Just slap them on. Are any of you wearing armor?
I am not.
I've got some light armor.
I'm wearing leather armor.
Does mage armor count?
It does not.
Okay.
This vest that he places over you, if you're not wearing heavy or medium armor, which none of you are wearing heavy or medium armor.
No.
He just places one of these vests over each of you, and you each gain a +1 bonus to AC. Which you're not sure how much. You're looking at like the vests that he's put over you, and you're thinking, I don't know if these are really going to save us from an explosion. But you may consider yourself, for the run of this session, you have 1 more AC than you normally would. Yes, we'll collect those at the end, but maybe it'll deflect a little bit of the blast. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in that building up there. You're going to walk up the main stairway right up to the top. The bomb is directly on the desk in the mayor's office, which is straightforward. The building's been completely evacuated, so once you're in there, you're on your own. You all ready?
Sure.
I'm going to
Ready as we're gonna be.
What was the question you asked? I didn't quite hear it. Or maybe I misheard. He goes, in that case, as you say it, he goes, all right, best of luck in there. I'm going to be one voice communication away. Let me know once you get there, and I'll begin walking you through the process.
I'm gonna say into the blue crystal. Got it.
We're still standing next to you. Oh, you know what? It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and jog right away. We'll see you in. See you on the other side. Best of luck in there. And he whiffs around and begins kind of jogging back to the kind of police barricade line. There's a lot of them that are wearing like shields and heavy gear over themselves. You know, full plate armor. A lot of them as they're just standing and kind of creating a line in a perimeter around the building. But the door is before you. Who wants to kind of lead the way here up into the chamber beyond?
I have the talkie crystal thing. I should go last.
Okay, it's a good reason. So Jorgmir is going to kind of follow it up. Ordin, Akta, Jeremiah, one of you want to blaze a trail?
Yeah, why not? I'm the smallest. I can kind of avoid most.
All right. So Jeremiah, you begin to kind of step in, followed by Akta, and then Ordin, and then Jorgmir, as you begin to just kind of walk into the house. I imagine you're not like sprinting too much, as things are. I mean, from what he described, there seemed to be a pretty powerful explosive on the other end of this. But you walk through, you reach up to the top of the stairs, and as you get to the top, you can see within the room. You hear, for one thing, just a kind of a gentle ticking sound, as well as on the table a rectangular device with a few different like buttons and various blinking lights. You can see some wires kind of strapped around it, and it seems to be also kind of like drilled into the desk at the top of it. And it's sitting here on the desk, waiting to presumably explode. As you go up to it, you see no visual indicator of a timer, but you can hear an internal ticking. And this is the device as you see it here.
I'm gonna use crystal and say we're here. We cut the red wire.
Wait, did you say that you cut the red wire?
No, we cut the red. That's the first one we cut, right?
Just tell me that you didn't already cut a red wire, please.
Oh no,
we didn't do anything.
I just aged 3 years. I literally just saw gray hair fall in front of my face. And okay, no, don't cut any red wires. Don't cut any wire. Just take this one step. We're gonna take this very slow, one step at a time. Okay. So.
Okay, I am taking one step towards the ball.
That's actually fine. You should be right in front of it. I need you all to gather around in front of it. I don't know if you're joking or not, but that was good instincts. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, I want you to go up to it and destroy the bomb. On the side of it, is there any panels, buttons? There should be some kind of small fan over on the side of it. They use them as sort of like a cooling system to make sure things don't get overheated and things go off soon. Do you see anything like that?
Do we make a perception check?
Yeah, make an investigation check as you're kind of looking over this. As you're looking over this bomb, probably seriously for the first time here. And yeah, Jeremiah, you immediately pick it out. It's right on the left side of the kind of the rectangle here. Akta, you notice it as well, and. There is a panel. It has kind of 4 screws in the corners, and then there is a rotating fan with some vents over here on the inside, and it's moving at a pretty quick rate. And he goes, "All right, we're going to have to actually, believe it or not, we're going to start off by shutting down. Well, that's going to be the best point of access here. So we're going to have to shut down the cooling system, which is preventing it from going off early. That might speed up our clock a little bit, but it's also going to be how you're going to access into the bomb safely for the rest of the stuff. So you're going to have to start off by getting rid of that panel. So make that your first priority, however you best see fit. We have some, well, there's a couple of simple thieves tools that you have in your vests. You'll see those included there. So if you think those will be helpful, but if you have any ways, I know you guys are pros, whatever you think the best way to pull that off. And he says to get rid of this this panel that's covering up the fan over here.
Before we go further, is the thing ticking a metronome?
Yeah, steady rhythm.
Does it look like it's screwed on or anything?
It does not.
How does it appear to be
it does appear to be attached by screws. There are 4 screws in each corner of the little panel here, and it's covering up the little fan, which is whirring here.
4 of us, 4 screws. Let's each get 1 screw.
I love it.
Yeah, that seems like it makes sense.
I am quite good with thieves' tools kind of things. If you want me to attempt it.
I'm pretty dexterous myself.
I love it. Everyone's gonna take a stab at 1 screw. Akta, do you want to lead the way here and grab the first one?
I best not.
Okay.
I'll go for it.
All right.
I will never set bombs off. This is new.
Well, then just set a bomb off, but backwards.
Yeah, it's just the anti-setting a bomb off. You unfire it. So did I hear Jorgmir? Did you say that you were going to give it the first shot?
Sleight of hand check?
Yeah, sleight of hand or proficiency in thieves' tools if you have that, or just dexterity if you got neither. 14, you go up and you unscrew the top left one of the panel. Very delicately, the bomb doesn't move, it doesn't shake, it doesn't jostle, and you remove 1 screw. That's 1 down.
Okay, these are pretty normal screws. It shouldn't be that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad.
All right, that seems easy enough. I'll take it.
Yeah, who wants to go next?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do the next one.
I'll go last.
Okay. Okay. And I got 13.
13. No. Ordin, you go up and you do the next screw. You take one off the corner. It falls off and drops on the table. No issue. 2 down.
Guess I'm next.
Yeah, take it away. 17, not even an issue. You deftly spin the screw and it pulls out. You grasp it lightly in your hand, and there's only 1 that remains. And as you pull out the 3rd one, you see the little panel starts to like fall down and it's going to kind of hit the table. And as you do, you kind of catch it and hold it in place for the last person so it doesn't disturb anything. Again, making sure you're handling everything very gently. So I believe Akta, you're the last shot here. Show us what you got. 11 is 1 more than you needed. As you go over and screw out the last screw, and the panel kind of falls forward, and now the fan's just kind of exposed, and you can see some of the inner workings of this device. And from the blue crystal, he kind of goes, all right, how's it going over there?
They got a panel off.
Okay, you got the panel off. You see the fan? The fan's exposed?
Yeah.
Just jam something in there. Doesn't matter. You just need to stop the fan from rotating. Shouldn't be too hard. Don't stick it in too deep because you don't want it to disturb anything else. But just jam up the fan somehow, however you want to do it.
I think
I'll put my
possible
finger
bolt out.
I heard a bunch of people do a bunch of stuff at once. What were all of those?
My finger.
All right, you just put your hand in.
Akta took out a crossbow bolt. Which
all right, all of this happens at once, and so there's just like, I imagine that all of you basically put a different thing in one of the 4 spots between the 4 fan blades on this thing, and well, it's completely stopped. And so actually, you're welcome to take your hand out at this point because it seems like it's jammed even without it. And he goes next. All right, so that's done, right? That's not too difficult.
Yeah, my finger's stuck.
All right, next step. I need all of you to go ahead and step yourself up onto the table. And do so again gingerly. You do not want to disturb the device. But step yourself up onto the table. There's not a lot of room on this table, but you guys all follow this instruction?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and he goes, now once you're up there, I need you all. You'll see on the vests that you're all wearing right now, there is kind of a patch on the front right with kind of a pressable red button. I need you to hit that button.
Okay, I hit the button.
Okay. And as soon as you hit,
Right?
yep, there seems to be only one. You're noticing it now. It's just a slight kind of red pressable button that's just above the, just like a little bit between your chest and shoulder on the right side, higher up. And as you kind of press in this button, you begin to feel a strange, sensation kind of overtake you. As the world around you starts to grow significantly larger, and all of you begin to shrink downwards in size. And you can hear from the crystal, which is also shrinking alongside of you in your hand, you can hear a voice going, all right, so that's going to engage the shrinking function on all of your vests, which is going to allow you to walk directly inside of this bomb. Because most of the operations that we're going to need you to handle are going to be pretty fine in scale, and, well, you're not going to be able to handle them just reaching in there blind. As all of you kind of right now begin to shrink into the bomb, you find yourselves standing, you are now like smaller. You can see why you put a stop on the fan blades, because at your current size, which is maybe like an inch or two after you're all done shrinking, you are basically the same height as the fan blades, and you have to kind of like, I'm sorry, the fan blades are a little bit larger than you even, and you can walk between the gap that you kind of opened for yourself there with the crossbow bolt that was struck in. So you guys are now tiny people, and you're walking into an active bomb, and he goes, all right, from here forward, things should be pretty straight ahead. This guy, all of his bombs are different, so we don't know too much, but most of the time the mechanism is on the, the backside opposite the fan. So I just need you guys to go get all the way to the other side to the explosives and let me know once you get to that point.
I'm going to try to stealthily.
All right. You're going to begin stepping forward like into the inside of this bomb. Go ahead and make me a stealth check. Oh my god. Yeah, absolutely silent. As you kind of as you kind of walk in, you begin looking forward and looking around. And now that you're at this tiny size, the scale of this thing is pretty huge. It's basically like you're just walking into a very large building. And as you begin to like take stock of your surroundings, you can see all manner of different like brightly colored wires that are bundled and kind of wrapped around on the inside of this thing. You can see like panels and chambers like up ahead. There's a section that almost kind of the way the metal plating is set up on the inside, it kind of makes like a door frame leading into a chamber beyond. You can see what looks to be a number of like switches and kind of internal like nodules here with bright blinking lights. But as you're walking kind of carefully through here, and I think with your crit stealth, you have time to kind of pick up these smaller details. A lot of the interior of this bomb is actually looking like there's like service paths on the inside of this thing. Like you were expecting to just kind of, you know, have to like walk and climb over electronics, but it almost looks like the interior of this bomb was designed for people to walk through. And that's what you're noticing as you are starting to step through. There's that ever-present leading you forward up ahead. And coming up, like I said, there is what appears to be like a door frame that's moving into another kind of segment of the interior of this bomb. What would you or anyone like to do as you're kind of continuing forward here?
Question, can I walk to the tick of the...
Could you repeat that? You got a little bit cut off at the end there.
Can I walk to the tick of the bomb?
Absolutely. To try and cover over your footsteps?
No, just for comedic effect.
Then doubly so, you can. So with each step, and maybe that's why your stealth, you were started off doing it for comedic effect, but your stealth score was just so good that each step, you're just kind of, the ticking of the bomb is covering it up, making you completely silent as you're moving forward. What's everyone else doing?
Akta's just walking in,
All
not giving a care, thinking.
Ordin
"This
is
isn't the most
thinking that
dangerous
it's
place."
kind of suspicious that this place looks designed to be walked through, and then they made it to so that we could walk through it.
That's a reasonable, it's a reasonable thing. What about Jeremiah? Just stepping in?
Yeah.
All right. You continue forward. You reach this first door frame, and then you can see beyond. There's what looks like a kind of a long metal walkway that's leading over maybe a valley of wires in what would maybe be the middle segment of the bomb. And on the far side, where you walked through the door frame on this side and it was open, on the other side, there is what appears to be a very literal door on the other end of this long kind of just metallic bridge over this wire valley, quote unquote wire valley. And on the other side, there's what looks like a closed metal door separating from you the panel. And as you move closer, the ticking sound gets ever sort of louder as you're moving across the interior of this strange device.
I'm gonna talk to
Akta's
the
gonna draw a
crystal.
pact with it.
All right, what do you say into the crystal?
We made it to a metal door.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
We made it to a metal-like door.
No, you're not supposed to leave the area that you're supposed to go into the bomb.
Yeah, we're in the bomb.
You're in the bomb, and there's a metal door in the bomb. What do you mean a door?
It's like a door. It looks like.
That seems... Okay, we haven't experienced... Hold on a second. I need to proceed with extreme caution. You need to get to the source of that ticking noise. I'm going to start talking to some people. We haven't seen anything like this yet. Metal door. Is there anything... Hold on a second. And you see him, you just begin to hear, like, he put the crystal down, and he's now, like, arguing with some people that are around him in the space, as he seems also confused by the environment that you guys have come into.
Well, I say we go into the.
All right. You want to go up to the door?
Yeah, I want to attempt to open the door in timing.
Okay. You go over to it, and as you do so, what is everyone else doing at this time?
I just kind of want to look for, like, is there anyone else here that isn't us?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
Critical 22. All right, so here's what happens. We'll come back to that in a second. Akta and Jeremiah, what are the two of you doing right now? Are you just going up to going through the door alongside Jorgmir, or what's your current play?
Yeah, I'm kind of looking
Summoning a
around too.
weapon.
Could you repeat that? I heard you, Jeremiah. Akta, could you say that again?
Akta is drawing her weapon, making sure she summons her packed weapon.
Okay.
Because she doesn't trust us.
That's fair. So you're up with Jorgmir, getting ready for battle or whatever might come. You two are maybe hanging back a little bit, still kind of, observing and taking in the location, Ordin and Jeremiah. And Ordin, you begin to notice up above you, there is something of a... there's a big kind of metallic cube up there, but as you're staring at it a little bit more closely, you notice that there's something that looks like an eye hole or a vent that is looking down over this bridge, and you catch just for a moment ahead as you kind of look up and make eye contact with whatever. It's a little bit tough to tell from this distance and just the small size of this opening. But you definitely make eye contact with someone that is kind of skulking and looking down at you guys on the bridge up there. And then almost as soon as this happens, this is right when you, Jorgmir, are kind of opening the door, moving into the next section. As soon as you pull on the door frame, you, Ordin, kind of hear this person go, as they kind of duck away and they can tell that you've seen them, you just kind of hear just a quiet, and then almost immediately after, there's a sudden kind of like snapping as a overhanging wire kind of drops down, and from the ceiling, a few wires kind of part, and a big cage drops down onto the bridge around where specifically Jorgmir and Akta are standing. So I would like both of you to make me dexterity saving throws, because I imagine, Ordin, you were able to warn them a little bit. Like, do you say something? What do you do, Ordin?
I was going to run toward him, try to grab the crystal to inform them, or ask the guy if he knows anything about someone else being here.
I think at this point, because this is all happening in the span of like a few seconds.
In the span of a few seconds, right.
So you have like one action you can try and undergo. Like, you could try and warn them, you could try and do something about the person up in those stands. Like, what do you want to do?
I mean, if it's all I could do, I'm just going to tell them, first of all, someone is up there.
Okay. As soon as you kind of have this call, and I think that's enough to give the two of them the chance to make a dexterity saving throw to try to avoid this thing, because it's at least, there's something special, especially Akta, who was already kind of prepared for something bad to go down. A 15 and a 20. Both of you, as this it happens. It happens, sort of. So both of you hear this, there's somebody up there, and as you look up, you don't have time to see it, but it does give you enough time to see the falling cage as you both jump and kind of duck backwards and out of the way. And it collapses on the area in which you were just standing. And you can see on the inside of this cage, through the very kind of narrow grates on it, there is another slightly smaller bomb that seemed to be beeping on the inside of this cage that they were going to try and trap you in with.
Do you think that shrink this down again? Maybe we need to go into the other bomb too, because maybe that's the real.
And as you're kind of asking that, you hear a voice kind of come through the crystal that you're holding, Jorgmir, and he goes, "Hey, you guys there? You guys there? Come in."
Yeah, we're here.
All right. Anything strange happen?
Yes.
Yes.
What happened?
I'm gonna hand the crystal over and say, "You take."
Yeah.
Right.
You mean to me? Or?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
You, Ordin. So he hands you the crystal.
Yeah.
He goes, "What happened?"
Tell me something. Is this a rescue mission?
No. But what's happening?
Because someone else is here.
Okay. This is confirming some of the suspicions that we're having. We've been disarming these bombs lately. This guy Countdown, I told you about him, real madman.
Right.
This isn't the first one of these we've had to deal with. And we've been disarming them with this whole sort of go inside the bomb gimmick for a while now. I think he might have gotten a hand on one of our bomb diffusal vests. So it looks like he designed this new bomb with that in mind. We no longer have any way to prepare you for what you're going to face inside of here, but it looks like that there's a dangerous, criminal of sorts, villain, as he likes to consider himself, also inside of the bomb with you. I don't know, it just seems like he's going to kill himself here. I don't know what's going. He's got to have some kind of plan. You have to. The mission's changed. you gotta disarm the bomb. You gotta bring us back Countdown too. He can't be allowed to do this anymore. And also found out his name. I really don't like giving him the satisfaction of calling him Countdown.
Do you want him back alive?
Dead or alive, doesn't matter.
Good.
Lives preferred, actually. I'm sorry, I said that before we talked to our, I got a look from my boss when I said that, so I guess the answer is alive, but dead's fine too.
Oh, I totally won't kill him.
And as you guys are discussing this, now there's like this big cage that's kind of blocking the path in front of you. And the kind of smaller bomb that's inside of this cage is starting to beep kind of faster and faster. And it's blocking the path from the door frame. I mean, you could like maybe push it away or over the side, or you could kind of climb into it. Maybe that would be a pretty much of a stretch. You'd have to like lift the whole thing up if you wanted to try and do that. But the little bomb inside of that cage is looking like it's gonna blow soon.
It's little. How much damage could it do?
It's a great question. What do you guys do as you're seeing this start to happen?
You say it's little, but the bomb was little in relation to the building it was in.
That's also true.
I mean, if that thing looks like it's going to go off, my instinct is to get away from it.
Can I ask on the crystal talking thing, what happens if we push the red button?
You'll get big again.
Okay.
Why?
Because there's a small bomb in here.
Wait, there's a bomb in the bomb?
Yes, there's a bomb in the bomb. And I was wondering if it's the wind bomb.
I don't know how to handle a tiny baby bomb. Follow your instincts. But
Well,
yeah, you guys are starting to get to this thing has been beeping like beep 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 beep, and it's moved on to beep 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 beep, and now it's so you guys seem like you have maybe one action each at this point as things are starting to reach a boiling point. What are you all doing is you have to just make a decision in this moment.
If I have one action, I choose dash.
You're just running away?
Yes.
Absolutely. What about Akta? What you doing, Akta?
Akta's gonna dash as well.
All right, run away. Jorgmir?
I'm going to look around, see if there's anywhere that I can take cover at to hopefully avoid the blast if it is.
The bridge is pretty open. What you could do is you could dive down below into like this segment of wires and such, which is a pretty good fall. Maybe not a long distance, but just a good fall relative to your current size, which will still be scaling things in feet. But it's a pretty far fall, maybe like 25 to 30 feet down. But that looks like it would be safe away. You could like hang under the bridge, which would be cover. But other than that, most of the cover is behind you, not in this little kind of bridged section of the inside of this bomb.
Could I get to the cover that's behind me within an...
Yeah, that's kind of what Akta and Ordin did. So you could dash backwards if you want to.
Yeah, I'll do that. And I'm also going to walk tempo of the small...
That makes sense. As you sprint, it's also the sound of your feet moving over the ground is excellent. Jeremiah?
Does it look like there's any feasible way to do anything with the bomb?
You could try and push it over the side if you wanted, which would just move it away.
No, I mean like disarming it or anything like that.
You would have to reach through the cage and just cut a wire. You would be if you want to attempt it's not like an easy thing to do, but if you wanted to attempt a check with sleight of hand or thieves tools, you could try it. If you fail, you'll be right in front of the bomb as it blows up. So it's a tough call, but it is worth a shot if you are worried about the bomb exploding on the inside here, which is
My thinking is if that goes off, it might set up the whole thing.
What do you want to do?
Can I inspire myself?
Unfortunately, you cannot give inspiration spells.
Can I use a bonus action to give him in?
Absolutely, you can.
Then I'll do that.
As everyone's kind of running backwards, you see Jeremiah standing there like, no, I'm going to go for it. And you do you say anything particular to inspire or do anything?
Good luck.
Fair enough. As Jorgmir wishes you luck, stepping in perfect time to the bombs beeping, you have inspiration. What do you do? Jeremiah, you going to go ahead and try and disarm?
Yep.
Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand check or a check with thieves' tools, your choice, and you have inspiration. Go ahead and roll me a d6, and you will add that on top. Uh, 21. You needed a 20. So as you reach through, you just kind of quickly just reach your hand out and just decide almost arbitrarily to just cut this one particular wire that seems to stand out a little bit more than some of the other ones. It's like a thicker grade, and you just cut through this wire, and the just comes to a halt, and you are safe. It seems like the bomb stops beeping, and a lot of the lights on it just kind of power down, and the path before you is clear. I mean, there's still a big cage, but you can just put some cage aside.
As soon as I hear the bomb stop, I'm gonna like stop dead in my trail.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to move it aside and go through the door that was open before and into the final chamber here, it looks like.
Well, if I were someone crazy enough to manage to shrink down and enter their own bomb, I wouldn't have just one miniature bomb.
Maybe there was a bomb inside of that bomb.
Let's not ponder that right now.
We can't shrink twice. I think we're okay. Okay. So it's not worth worrying about.
Outside of the door.
All right, so Akta, you go ahead and move through, and as you look through, this area is a little bit more open, or it's a little bit less. It's not like a single straight line bridge. It's a more open floor plan here, and you can see on the back side of this what looks like these must be the actual explosives, and they are etched in all different places with strange kind of runes and things, where it looks like some of the triggering systems here are kind of primitive trigonometric electronics, but the bombs themselves appear to be, the explosives appear to be pretty magical in nature. And you can see along this, there's just a whole panel which now tower over you. This bomb is maybe, the actual explosives in this bomb are maybe 20 times all of your heights. It's kind of intimidating looking at it from this angle. But as you step into the chamber also, you can see attached to it is what looks like a counting down LED timer. And currently there are what looks like 1 minute and 53 seconds left on the clock on this whole big explosive that is in the chamber where you are. Underneath it, there's what looks like a control panel of sorts.
Is it ticking down in real time?
It is ticking down in real time. I'm not counting you on 1 minute and 53 seconds, but you do have to do everything that you're going to do to disarm this in the next 1 minute and 53 seconds.
Right. I mean, like in this world, like, are they seeing the clock ticking down in real time?
You guys are seeing the clock ticking down in real time. But yeah, I'm not going to actually do that that way.
Hear me out. Thunderwave.
I like your thinking. I was thinking the same thing.
I have Thunderwave.
I have Thunderwave.
I like it. Why that specifically?
as you guys are kind of having this conversation right here, a voice above you goes, "Yes, take your time. No hurry."
Can I try to identify where the voice was coming from?
It's coming from above you. It looks like there's that section where you saw him looking down on you. There's a kind of a metal grated stairway and a door leading up to that little observation deck that he was looking at the bridge from. And you can see what looks like a pretty befrazzled looking human, kind of white hair that's like standing on end in all different places. And he goes, "You'll never stop me this time. I'm going to teleport out of here at the last possible second and leave all of you for dead on the inside of this bomb." It's 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Can I cast sleep?
Go ahead and roll for initiative.
Yeah.
And you're going to go ahead and attempt to sleep him. He's going to roll initiative. And something else is going to roll initiative that you cannot see. Don't mind my saying that. The initiative for them didn't come up. Oh, there it is. All right. So the first to act is you, Jorgmir, and you said you're casting sleep?
Yes, I am.
He goes, as he looks at you, he goes, "And I'll leave you in here with this bot." And then immediately his head just falls forward and collapses. Or actually, you could roll low enough. He doesn't have a ton of hit points, but go ahead and roll me the sleep health. It is possible that he gets through this.
Would it be possible to get the other creature that's in here that I don't know about if I have enough hit points left?
I mean, you're targeting it on the area of him. So if it's in that area and if it has the hit points, then it would maybe affect it. But we'll have to wait and see.
25.
25. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He has less than 25 hit points. You see he immediately says, "And you'll be here in this bomb," and then slumps down. You can just hear the thud as he hits the little metal grate that he's on, and immediately falls asleep as countdown is down for the count, as it were. What else are you doing on your turn?
I'm going to give inspiration to some...
Who do you want to inspire?
Ordin.
Okay.
All right. In that case,
accept it.
I mean, why wouldn't you? As we move next in initiative 2, it is going to be an enemy turn. As you can see, kind of from around the area behind the door behind him, you watch as these little things come out around him, and they look to be like tiny lightning elementals almost, as these like small beings of crackling energies with kind of wicked grins on their face run up. One of them kind of looks down over towards Countdown and is going to use their action to shock him awake. So they are going to go ahead and make an attack against him because their touch is only electricity, and they automatically hit. So and you watch as they kind of reach down, and he just kind of from his sleep, as his own minion goes up to him, and he just, as he kind of shakes, and you can almost see like the bones for a minute cartoonishly, as this little lightning elemental ignites him. The other one kind of rushes down over the walls and is going to move down into all of your space, and it's going to make an attack against you, Akta, as it rushes down to the ground, moving with kind of an unnatural quickness of whatever this strange elemental creature is. Akta, that's a 14 to hit. Is that going to hit?
That hits.
Oh, it's not supposed to. Don't worry about any of that fire damage stuff. It was from something else. So you take 6 points of lightning damage as it reaches out and touches you, and you take this sudden electric shock. You're also unable to
react.
I was actually just about to say, in addition, you are unable to take reactions until the end of your next turn, which is the other effect that this lightning strike has on you. So unfortunately, you cannot. And that's all for these lightning elementals' turns. As we move next in initiative to Jeremiah. What do you want to do, Jeremiah? The clock has now counted down. At this point, it was at 1:20. When it reaches the end of the round, it'll be at 1:14. What do you want to do with it?
I'm gonna cast sleep again.
This poor guy. All right, go ahead and roll sleep. Okay, yeah, you cast sleep. It hits him in the elemental. He immediately falls asleep again. The little lightning elemental, you just think it probably doesn't sleep, which is why it's not affecting this creature. Anything else on your turn? Jeremiah.
I'm going to inspire Jorg.
All right. Jorgmir, you have a point of inspiration, and we move next in initiative. And that would be Akta. What do you want to do, Akta?
I'm going to hit this lightning thing with my back weapon.
Yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll. 16 from Deathbringer is going to absolutely hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that. It's 12. Is this a magical weapon?
It is, yes.
Because I don't think packed weapons aren't inherently magical, right? Is this like a glamored item from Bartholomew's shop?
No, this is. I haven't proved back weapon is.
Packed weapons are considered magical weapons for overcoming resistances. I just can't remember that particular rule because this has resistance to. Okay, yeah, Jeremy's also confirming. Cool. In that case, it's going to take 12 points of slashing damage. Wow. As you cut across it, you can see there is something of constitution. It doesn't seem to be made of pure lightning. There is some, I don't want to say flesh, but some physical elements for you to kind of make contact with. And it drags across, and as you strike it, you watch as kind of lightning courses out a little bit around it. And Akta, as you hit this creature with this weapon attack, you also take 1 point of lightning damage. But you hit it for 12, and it does not seem to have liked that very much. Is there anything else on your turn?
Because I get hit with lightning damage, can I use my reaction to cast Health Rebuke? Because
you are unable to. Unfortunately, you are unable to take reactions until the end of your next turn. So after this point, you will be able to take reactions again. But you are unable to take reactions until the end of your next turn.
That is all then.
Yeah, sorry. But that is going to bring us next in initiative to... well, it is our sleeping friend here, who is... Well, he's still asleep. So next it's going to be the top, which is... I believe that was you, Jorgmir. What would you like to do? Wait, I'm sorry, Ordin. You get skipped. Ordin. It's your turn.
Yes.
My
Yeah.
apologies.
Okay. So let me get the scene here. Countdown is asleep.
Countdown's asleep. The countdown is a minute 20.
Yeah. And then there's one lightning thing next to it.
Yep. And there's one
next to
lightning thing next to Akta, who's on the ground
Yes.
near all of you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to Eldritch Blast the one that's attacking us.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll. 17 is going to hit. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
Okay. Oh. Yeah.
10 points.
There we go.
Oof. And with the 12 from before, this creature is going to explode in a sudden kind of burst of lightning as it struck. I think all of you are still hanging around this area where you entered in, so I need literally all of you to make me dexterity saving throws as you finish off this little lightning creature. And, oh, that's all of you. Yeah, you all succeed. Nice. As you all take half damage. Oh my goodness, that's the max damage too. You take half. Good thing you succeeded. To 6 points of damage that you all take. As this thing dies, it explodes in a burst of electricity, which cackles out around you, crackles out around you. Each of you takes 6 points of lightning damage, dodging out of the way of the brunt of it as you take cover for a moment. And anything else on your turn, Ordin?
No, I think I'm good for now.
In that case, that's going to bring us now to the top of the initiative, which is you again, Jorgmir. The count is now 114.
I'm gonna yell at Ordin to start defusing the bomb, and I'm gonna try to throw a dagger at the other lightning guy.
All right. Go ahead and make an attack roll. 22 is absolutely going to hit. Roll damage on that. For 4 points, is the +1... oh, that's for the crit, yeah. So 4 points of piercing damage as you toss the dagger up. It sticks in, and it doesn't look particularly effective. Like, some of the elemental form of them kind of shrugs it off, so he's going to take half damage from that. But
damage 1d4 +1.
Yes, so that's the 4. Because the +1 there is from the... if you had scored a critical, that was the extra roll. So the 4 is you rolled a 3 and then got +1. If you mouse over the 4, you'll see it there. But so yeah, so you'll take 2 points of damage from that as you toss the dagger up. Is there anything else on your turn?
Does anyone not have inspiration right now?
I don't.
I'll give it to whoever just said that.
All right, Akta, you gain a use of Bardic Inspiration. As we move next in initiative to that kind of lightning elemental, which is going to zip down to the ground as the other one did now, not even bothering to wake up the doctor at this point because it might kill him, and is going to go over and it's going to go after you, Jorgmir, as he makes an attack against you with his lightning touch. It's a 12 to hit. Is that going to get you, Jorgmir?
No, not. Thank goodness for the vest.
Oh, is it the vest that saved you?
My normal AC is 12.
Oh, that's lucky. As you take 6 points of lightning, or so you don't take 6 points of lightning damage because you dodge it with the vest. And that's all for this creature's turn. It's right up in your face, but you're good. As we move next to, I believe it was Akta next, or was it Jeremiah? Jeremiah next. What would you like to do, Jeremiah?
Well, seeing as the elemental is more pressing at the moment, I'm gonna use both my action and my bonus action to use my scimitars.
Oh, nice. The 11 will miss, but the 20 will hit. Go ahead and roll. Do you want to use your Bardic Inspiration on the... or do you have Bardic Inspiration at the moment, Jeremiah?
From earlier? No.
Okay, no, you do not. But the 20 will hit for 10 points of slashing damage. As you strike in, that's magical as well, because that's a scimitar of speed. You take 4 points of lightning damage. As you strike into it, the electricity kind of like just courses up the blade and comes back to you. However, you do deal 10 points of magical slashing damage. And this one's not looking like it's in great shape either. Anything else on your turn?
I move back.
It's going to provoke another
attack.
It's going to provoke an opportunity attack. Is that cool?
You know what? Yeah, he can take.
He critically fails. It goes up to hit onto you, but you completely dodge it as we move next to Akta.
Am I in melee with any of them?
You are not in melee of any of them right now.
Then I am going to move back 30 feet and cast Eldritch Blast on the one that was just hit.
Alright, go ahead and make an attack roll. 23 is going to hit. Roll damage on that. Jesus! 12 points. These have been some good rolls for you guys tonight. 12 points of force damage. It flies into the tiny lightning elemental, which as you hit it, it also... actually, would you care to describe the killing blow yourself, as this is the last non-sleeping enemy in this encounter?
No, I'll let you do it.
Fair enough. You strike into the lightning elemental, which collapses into on itself before once more exploding outward. I will need Jorgmir and Ordin to make me dex saving throws again, because you guys have not moved away from that area around the door yet. Jorgmir, you succeed. Ordin, that is not going to succeed, unfortunately. Oh, well, the opposite damage this time, as you take 2 points of lightning damage, and Jorgmir, you take only 1. Or do you want to roll your Bardic Inspiration? You do have one.
Oh.
Or are you just going to take the 2 lightning damage?
I'm going to take it because I just got yelled at to disarm the bomb, and I kind of want to save it for that.
That's a very fair point.
Which is why I gave it to you.
Which the turn now passes to you, Ordin. There's a sleeping countdown and a bomb with 1:14 on the clock. What do you want to do?
All right, I'll get the bomb. You tie him up or something. I don't know. And he's just like looking at this, this sort of tower thing, and just trying to, like, he has no idea what he's looking at. But
okay, so you're gonna run over to it though?
Yeah, I'm still running over to it. He does not know what he's doing, but he's going to try.
Yes, absolutely. And this could very much be the Bartholomew's Adventurer catchphrase. He does not know what he's doing, but he's going to try anyway. So you run over to the there's like a control panel. There's a control panel at the base of the section here, and it seems to have like a keyboard input for it. And then there's the kind of large bomb. There's a number of wires that kind of reach up that are connecting it. And getting over to there, you now have what appeared to be what was it? It was -6. So you now have 1 minute and 8 seconds on the clock. There's a keyboard entry panel.
Okay.
And then a bunch of wires that connect it to the bomb. What would you like to do? And we're out of initiative at this point, so everyone can be doing anything. So what does everyone want to do?
The keypad, so the keyboard, is there any sort of like screen or any sort of entry that looks like the keyboard would go to?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a as you go over, do you want to like interact with the keyboard?
Yeah, I want to see if there's any sort of like passcode system or something.
Yeah, and as soon as you kind of just touch the keyboard at all, you watch as a small kind of screen pops up, and it seems to be asking you for a password.
I put in red wire.
All right, you type in red wire, and red wire. You hit enter, and password denied comes up. And in this time, that's another. We're gonna go in countdowns of 5 because it's easier.
Okay.
We'll also just say, to make up for that, you're at 1 minute on the clock at this point.
I turn back and yell, "You said it was always red wire."
I never said that. I'm gonna go up and I want to try 98765432110.
You just 98765432110. You enter that into the keyboard and access denied, incorrect password.
Really thought that one.
I'm gonna go and examine the countdown and see if I can't find anything on him that could help.
Okay, you have, at this point, 55 seconds on the clock. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me. This is not part of your time since you're doing something different than trying to enter passwords. Go ahead and make me an investigation check, Jeremiah.
Oh.
4. You find one thing on him, just because you're going through his robes. One thing I'll say also, the people that are going through the panel, it does appear that the password is 9 letters. or alphanumerics. As we go to
I think it's countdown. I think that's the path.
as we go over to you, Sword, what you do find in his pockets appears to be a spell scroll of teleportation for him to get out of here at the last moment. But that's all that you find.
Can I try countdown as a password?
All right. You enter into countdown, and you just hear a little ding, and then there's an access granted that appears, and all of a sudden you're kind of presented with an entire kind of list of things on a menu. There's 50 seconds left on the clock. As you're going through, you're seeing another things like begin sequence, end sequence, activate are some of the things that you're seeing popping up. Maintenance.
End sequence, please.
Ordin, use the
Use what?
the talkie crystal thingy.
Oh. Okay. I contact back and it's like, hello?
Yeah, what's going on over there?
Okay, we got him asleep and tied up and everything, and we're setting up the bomb right now. To get it done. We got into some sort of screen thing.
The clock clicks to 30 seconds at this point. And he goes, yeah, okay, screen thing. Was there a timer? How much time you got?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Oh shit! All right. Hit the. Is there? Tell me what you see.
I just hot potato toss it to Jorgmir.
You toss it over to Jorgmir. If there's at this point 20 seconds left on the clock, he goes, "What is it? What's on it?" What did you say, Jorgmir?
What were the options again?
There was start sequence, end sequence, maintenance, activate.
Yeah, I'm gonna just read it off directly to her.
And he goes, "Well, end sequence. Hit end sequence."
Okay, I'm gonna hot potato it over to Ordin and try to hit end sequence.
All right, 15 seconds left on the clock. You hit end sequence, and then a kind of panel comes up on the screen, and you start to see the inside of the bomb lights up with all these big, blinking red lights, and you start to hear a siren coming from the inside, which probably isn't that bad if you're outside of it, but inside of the bomb it's deafening. As you hit end sequence, there's a now above where you say end sequence, it just says 14 seconds remaining, which is the time on the clock up above as well, and then are you sure?
Yes.
We should hit.
Yeah, are you sure? Yes or no?
I hit yes.
Okay. You hit yes, and as soon as you do so, the computer screen in front of you blacks out and goes dark. And then the clock above you continues to tick downwards as the sirens go on. And you just hear up at the, you hear just above at the top, Countdown start just kind of cackling from where he's kind of woken up at this point because a minute has passed, and he's just kind of cackling, "You'll never stop it now!" And then, boing, boing, 10, 9, 8. Do you guys do anything?
Can I cast Healing Word on myself?
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
considering casting lightning at the controls.
All right, you want to try and lightning bolt the controls?
No, I'm considering it.
Oh, okay. 5. You cast Healing Word on yourself. 4,
I'm
3,
going to drink a healing potion.
2, 1, and then you watch as it ticks down to 0.01 seconds and stops, and then all of the lights in the area just kind of shut down, and just a few service lights go over, and the clock stops ticking downwards. And you hear him just kind of shout out, "I thought I'd get the intimidation play, but..."
Can I look over?
And Countdown looks around kind of nervously.
If he tries to move, I'm casting Hold Person on him.
Congratulations, you've successfully defused the bomb.
I'm gonna look at Countdown and say, "What do you call a goblin with a limp a hobgoblin, and I'm gonna cast hideous laughter on it.
He's going to make a wisdom. He's had a rough day. He's going to make a wisdom saving throw, I do believe.
Correct. DC 13.
He actually manages to succeed that, and he goes, "That wasn't even a good joke."
You're the one tied up.
Excuse me. And he looks over to you. He looks over to you, Jeremiah, and goes, "You have my teleportation scroll, I believe. If you could just put that into my hands. It's very dangerous. It's part of the bomb diffusal, and I can use it now to double diffuse the second bomb that I have hidden inside here."
Yeah, I kind of took care of that one.
No, there's another one you don't even know about, so give me that piece of paper.
Fat chance. Go back to sleep.
You cast sleep on him? Yeah, all right. You knock him out again. You guys are able to remove him from the bomb, and you guys, as you're kind of exiting out, you just hear from the crystal, "So you did it?"
No, we blew up.
That's a relief. All right. Well, it's done then. Come on back. We'll get you your money. And well, you've done an incredible service for the city of Central City today.
We bought you a present too.
And you guys are able to exit the bomb. I imagine you wait till you get outside of it to make yourselves large enough again, and you return to him. He takes countdown off of you. You see his countdown is brought into custody, and he pays each of you 100 Bartholomew bucks. You each gain 1 point of experience, and you have successfully completed this bomb defusal adventure. Congratulations on your victory. If you were, I think none of you were level 1, so you were all.
I was 1 XP off of 3 XP for level 3, so.
In that case, you are now level 3, and congratulations, you completed this adventure. Good work, you guys. Mm-hmm.
Can I try to persuade the person who gave us the vest to try to keep it?
Those are very valuable city property, and they do want those back because those are exceptionally expensive. But he does mention to you. I'll tell you what I can do. We have I heard you guys have like a whole bag or something. We can donate a couple of those to the bag so that there's a chance you might run into one someday.
Can I cast darkness as I teleport away from the vest, with the vest, so they can't see me taking the vest?
You guys, the full might of Central City eventually gets their vest back, as we can't do magic items that way for fairness in DnDTime. But on the subject of magic items in DnDTime, would any of you like to shop?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. In that case, sometimes later you return to Bartholomew's shop. He greets you as you all enter. Greetings, adventurers. Is there anything I can get for you? Good to see you again, Akta. Is there something that you needed?
Yes, I would like to pull from the bag.
Oh, this is something that absolutely can be done. And he kind of reaches from behind and pulls out the bag and holds it open to you. Go ahead and roll me a D1000, and of course, I wish you the utmost of luck. All right. Let us look within. Hold on a second. Just open it up. All right. What did you get? Oh my God.
Damn, son.
I think that's the highest I've ever rolled as well.
It's the highest section of the bag you can roll in. All right, well,
I think they're taking all your legendaries.
You reach into the bag, and as you do, you pull it out. Oh my goodness. All right, well, your hand passes over first what appears to be I don't know, it's large and it's heavy, and it seems to be monstrously hot to the touch. And as you grasp it, you just have to let go. And as you grab the next thing, you feel this ancient thrumming heartbeat that seems to come alongside of it, and it starts to overtake you. You forget yourself for a moment, and you're like, no, I don't want whatever that item was. Instead, what you grab, as you pull it out, it appears to be a katana. And as you're kind of looking over it, it is perfect in its craftsmanship. It is incredibly beautifully put together. And as Bartholomew speaks up, I need it. It's mine. You can't have that one. Put it back. If you don't mind. Akta, if you could just throw that one back in, you don't even probably want that. You could have something else.
With the way you're acting, I would imagine it is very powerful.
It's
Yes?
the mithril, yes, fine. It's the mithril katana of rectitude, and it's a legendary blade. It is forged by the samurai masters of ages past. It's a long sword, but it deals extra radiant damage when you strike it. As an action, you may speak a divine word, causing it to emit daylight around you, and all that stay within the Jesus. All that start their turn within the area must make a wisdom saving throw each turn, or take 3d8 radiant damage. That's basically what Lance's Bartholomew's choice does. So you've gotten the mithril katana of rectitude. It's brutal. You have a permanent, basically every fight you have an unconcentration spirit guardians around you. It's very good.
The most powerful of the mithril katana set.
Well, congratulations on that. I've lost another thing that I care about deeply within my bag that no longer belongs to me, and now it belongs to you.
I'm sure if I ever fully die, you can have it back.
That's good news. I'll take you on your word. And is there anyone else that would like to buy anything right now?
It's 500 for a pull, right?
That is correct.
Soon.
Very well. And going once, going twice, and sold. We'll be back soon, everyone. We'll see you soon with our second adventure of the night, which I believe is a Fabled boss battle. So that should be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, everyone.